Yep, it is the Peach Bowl between Ole Miss and Penn State.
You want to talk about that one real quick?
Yeah, so I hate that I'm doing it this way, but ultimately I feel like defenses win games, defenses win championships.
He's picking all the games on defense, baby. He's picking all.
Every one of them. I will say towards the end, there's a couple of games that I kind of flipped that script, but this is probably the game that I struggled with most. I went through last night and I kind of went through all the stats. I went through the teams, went through their games, and I'm trying to win this, man. I'm trying to win this competition between me and you. So
I think it makes me feel a little bit better that you're trying so hard, and I'm over here just looking at him like, yeah, I think this logo looks the best, you know? Like,
no, that's what I've done most of the season, but no, I'm trying. But this game, I really, really want to see Ole Miss win this game because that would be huge for that program. And kind of a side note there, Lane Kiffin has got the Lane train in Ole Miss going. I
don't want to talk about it. No, I don't want to talk about it.
Have you seen the guys that they have gotten in the transfer portal so far? I mean, granted, there's been a few from Tennessee, which we will get to later.
I just said I didn't want to talk about it, dude. And then you proceed to talk about it. Like, makes no sense.
I got to do it, man. I got to.
You're saying all this, and then you're not even going to pick them. I see what you're doing here. Like,
you're exactly right. I will say, ultimately, I do think that Ole Miss's strength on defense plays into the game that Penn State tries to play. Penn State cannot pass the ball. They rely on that running game, and Ole Miss is a good team against the run game. But once again, I know that you mentioned it. The Big Ten offenses are not good, and that's why their defenses look so good on paper. But Penn State gives up the least amount of yards per game out of any team in the country at 230.8. And also, the big thing that I'm going to go with, James Franklin does not lose games that he is not favored in. He very rarely does that. And right now, I looked at FanDuel last night, and Penn State is a 3.5-point favorite against Ole Miss. And for that reason, and pretty much that reason alone, I'm going to lean Penn State in this game because he does not lose games that he is not favored in.
That's a good observation. That's solid. But let me remind you, both of these teams are so similar. They are similar.
They are very similar.
They are both 10-2, and Ole Miss's losses have come from Alabama and Georgia, and Penn State's have come from Michigan, Ohio State's. If you put that on a balance scale, boom, dead even. Like, this game is going to mean so much, not just for these programs, but for the conferences, right, to show where they are. And SEC's better, plain and simple. And for that reason, no, I'm joking. I seriously think Ole Miss is dangerous. Like, they've got a good defense.
They are very dangerous.
Other than LSU game. And I haven't heard if Jackson Dart is opting out.
I think Jackson Dart is going to be back next season.
That I know. And I just think that they got it cooking right now. Like you mentioned, they got a lot of positive vibes right now. Penn State is kind of, I'm going to say, wounded animal mode. And the reason why I say that is because this was the year that they were supposed to beat either Michigan or Ohio State, and they didn't. They came up short yet again. If y'all follow Penn State and their history, this is getting pretty common where they are a 10-2 team or a 9-3 team, and they lose the Big Two every year. And I hate it for them because they got to play them. But I'm not going to give them any tissues. We had to play Alabama, Georgia every year. And I just think, I know Penn State's the favorite, but give me Ole Miss, give me the Rebels. I think they got something in store for the Nittany Lions.